The best lies are based on the truth, at least in part.
Don't tie your success to anything other than what's inside you.
The truth is messy. It's raw and uncomfortable. You can't blame people for preferring lies.
Correct your mistake as soon as you have found it.
We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. Be the kind of person who dares to face life's challenges and overcome them, rather than dodging them. You lose nothing when fighting for a cause. In my mind, the losers are those who don't have a cause they care about. Even small positive shifts in thinking create huge results if you're consistent in your efforts. When the going gets tough, put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. Don't give up. If you believe, you can, but work hard to believe.
And remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Success in warfare is gained by carefully accommodating ourselves to the enemy's purpose. Verily, knowledge is a lock, and its key is the question.
Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path.
Truth is neither objectivity nor the balanced view. Truth is a selfless subjectivity.
We are here to be family to one another, to exist for the sake of others, even as others exist for our sake.
How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours.
If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees. The moment you make someone promise anything is the same moment you ask them to lie to you. Best friends are treasures. Hug them for their caring. Applaud their accomplishments. Laugh with them gratefully.
Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. If you are willing to go out on a limb, the tree of life holds endless possibilities.
Still, anyone who trusts a serpent deserves its bite. The wise see a creature for what it is, not what it says it may be.
If fate doesn't make you laugh, you just don't get the joke.
Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. Only by examining our personal biases can we grow as artists. Only by cultivating empathy can we grow as people. This work was strictly voluntary, but any animal who absented himself from it would have his rations reduced by half. With a secret like that, at some point the secret itself becomes irrelevant. The fact that you kept it does not.
The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life.
Don't be bothered by the things you can't change. Instead, focus on how to make your life better. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. In between goals is a thing called life that has to be lived and enjoyed. Mankind is made of two kinds of people: wise people who know they're fools, and fools who think they are wise. The problem with people is they forget that most of the time it's the small things that count. Never compromise truth for the sake of getting along with people who can only get along when we agree.
To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it.
The art of giving orders is not to try to rectify the minor blunders and not be swayed by petty doubts. People will not remember what you did for living. They will remember how you touched them with kindness and loving. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing.
Everything changes in my life, and the world stays the same. When we are most alone is when we embrace another's loneliness.
There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. I need to stop fantasizing about running away to some other life and start figuring out the one I have. The choices we make dictate the lives we lead. They lived like monkeys still, while their new god powers lay around them in the weeds. One who makes himself a worm cannot complain afterwards if people step on him. The worst part about being lied to is knowing you weren't worth the truth. Don't hit it at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft.
Everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality.
It amazed me how quickly a lie loses its power in the face of truth. Unless we learn to know ourselves, we run the danger of destroying ourselves. It was amazing how it worked. The tiniest bit of truth made credible the greatest lies. Therefore, a victorious army first wins and then seeks battle. A defeated army first battles and then seeks victory.
You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
Of course, there is no formula for success, except perhaps an unconditional acceptance of life and what it brings. I'm sure the universe is full of intelligent life. It's just been too intelligent to come here. To make a true choice, we must have true knowledge. Know that true change is demonstrated only by your actions around everyone, not just certain people. Become totally empty. Quiet the restlessness of the mind. Only then will you witness everything unfolding from emptiness. You are at your strongest when you are calm. I don't regret the painful times. I bear my scars as if they were medals. And that's when I realize the thing about the truth. It always comes out, no matter what you do.
All men know the use of the useful, but nobody knows the use of the useless. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one.
It doesn't get better by overthinking. It only gets better by working towards eradicating your problem. When it's possible for you to dream, it's not impossible to achieve. The simple step of a courageous individual is not to take part in the lie. One word of truth outweighs the world. That's the thing about life. A lot of the time, it isn't easy at all. We just have to try to make the best of it. The reason birds can fly and we can't is simply because they have perfect faith. For to have faith is to have wings.
A thing is not necessarily true because a man dies for it.
Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Just because people run after you doesn't mean they can't stay away from you. Don't take anyone for granted.
There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.
Feeling lost, crazy, and desperate belongs to a good life as much as optimism, certainty, and reason. A serious and good philosophical work could be written consisting entirely of jokes.
All men know the utility of useful things, but they do not know the utility of utility. Never give up. Things that you keep dreaming about will happen one day.
There's a fire against us, and in the end, the fire could burn us or ignite us into an unstoppable force. Nothing can dim the light, which shines from within. Stop doing what is easy or popular. Start doing what is right.
Either in conflict with others or in harmony with them, we go through life like a runaway horse, unable to stop.
Skill is only developed by hours and hours of work. Of all creatures that breathe and move upon the earth, nothing is bred that is weaker than man. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood.
Sometimes, not getting what you want is a brilliant stroke of luck.
I always knew on some level that I wouldn't live long. It's simply not written in my stars. Don't compare your life to others. You have no idea what their journey is all about.
It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer.
When life places stones in your path, be the water. A persistent drop of water will wear away even the hardest stone. Courage is living by the free will that one creates for themselves, not the life of monotony determined by another. Remember that a wish held fervently turns into belief, and a belief held diligently becomes reality. War is not just the shower of bullets and bombs from both sides. It is also the shower of blood and bones on both sides. Suffering is part of our training program for becoming wise.
If you're treated like a puppet, find a new ball of string.
When surrounded by darkness, your only duty is to shine. Sacrifice is a part of life. It's supposed to be. It's not something to regret. It's something to aspire to. Scars show us where we have been. They do not dictate where we are going. A concept is a brick. It can be used to build a courthouse of reason, or it can be thrown through the window. Fallon affected my body in weird ways, but only because she's different, I told myself.
Things don't happen for no reason. They happen to teach you something. The distance between insanity and genius is measured only by success. To think too long about doing a thing often becomes its undoing. Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed.
Life is dear to every living thing. The worm that crawls upon the ground will struggle for it.
The question is not what you look at, but what you see.
Some stories wait their turn to be told. Others just tap you on the shoulder and insist you tell them. Of all knowledge, the wise and good seek mostly to know themselves. One always has a better book in one's mind than one can manage to get onto paper. I prefer you to make mistakes in kindness than work miracles in unkindness. No man ever threw away life while it was worth keeping.
Only he who has no use for the empire is fit to be entrusted with it. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell.
If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you need world attention to be able to prove it. I woke up incredibly grateful today. I'm allowing myself to bask in this feeling. Champions have the courage to keep turning the pages because they know a better chapter lies ahead. Those who don't value their words will never value your wishes.
Some things you hear with your ears, others you hear with your heart.
One swallows the lie that flatters, but sips the bitter truth drop by drop. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. You normally have to be bashed about a bit by life to see the point of daffodils, sunsets, and uneventful nice days. Truth would quickly cease to be stranger than fiction once we got as used to it. I never dreamed about success. I worked for it.
Hard work is only a prison sentence when you lack motivation.
It means you're perfect just the way you are. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Giving thanks fills you with light and joy so you can shine like the bright star you truly are.
Communism is the final logic of the dehumanization of man.
Life gave me lemons, then I met you and you had vodka. Now my life is a party. You cannot change anyone, but you can be the reason someone changes. My feelings are too loud for words and too shy for the world. It is difficult, when faced with a situation you cannot control, to admit you can do nothing.
We're going to aspire to break through and create our own reality. Take care with the end as you do with the beginning.
The Western mind makes definitions, it draws lines.
True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions.
You are a wonderful creation. You know more than you think you know, just as you know less than you want to know.
Know thyself, know thy enemy. 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories. Before you find your soulmate, you must first discover your soul.
In reality, there are no persons, only threads of memories and habits. At the moment of realization, the person ceases. Those who will not reason are bigots, those who cannot are fools, and those who dare not are slaves. Just keep moving forward and don't give a shit about what anybody thinks. Do what you have to do for you. Life has become the future. Every moment of your life is lived for the future. A man can't be always defending the truth. There must be a time to feed on it.
I admire those who do good and expect nothing in return.
Life has more imagination than we carry in our dreams. True success cannot be achieved until you have experienced failure. To capture an enemy's army is better than to destroy it.
It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are.
There are some things that it is better to begin than to refuse, even though the end may be dark. It's a lie to think you're not good enough. It's a lie to think you're not worth anything. I want to dream a dream so wonderful that I'll wake up sorry that it wasn't a memory. Wisdom is the oneness of mind that guides and permeates all things.
Sometimes I think my head is so big because it is so full of dreams. The only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to. It is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. If you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build theirs.
Rewards and punishments are the lowest form of education. The goal is timeless. Chase the moment and you lose. Almost anyone can be an author. The business is to collect money and fame from this state of being. Getting something and having the wits to use it. Those are two different things. I trust that everything happens for a reason, even if we are not wise enough to see it. More powerful than the mighty armies is an idea whose time has come. Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know something is worth it.
We all have the beast in us, Bill, and it is up to us to control it.
Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterfly. Success is a little like wrestling a gorilla. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the gorilla is tired. The goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature. Be happy with who you are and what you do, and you can do anything you want.
Whatever is going to happen will happen, whether we worry or not. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Conformity to the present is invisibility to the future.
Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength.
The moon and the stars shine, even when the clouds hide the sunbeams.
To all appearances, he was just drifting. In actuality, he was just drifting. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves.
It is error alone which needs the support of government. Truth can stand by itself.
Your tomorrow depends entirely on what you do today. You have 3 choices in life. You can watch things happen, make things happen, or wonder what the hell happened. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Take advantage of it now, while you are young, and suffer all you can, because these things don't last your whole life. It's amazing how easy the truth is to accept, no matter how strange. Take responsibility of your own happiness. Never put it in other people's hands.
Create your own miracles. Do what you think you cannot do. Understanding that rests in what it does not understand is the finest. Once you really know yourself, can't nobody tell you nothing about you?
Every man should lose a battle in his youth, so he does not lose a war when he is old. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men.
Sometimes we create our own heart, breaks through expectation.
Trustful people are the pure at heart, as they are moved by the zeal of their own trustworthiness.
They laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at them because they're all the same.
To have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another person has pain is to have doubt. One is not struck by the truth until prompted quite accidentally by some external event. Not only are we all unique, we're also all connected. Therefore, it makes no sense that you could ever be rejected. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. We have not been rewarded to evolve over our failures, but punished never to make mistakes again.
I've never seen anything as bright as the rays of kindness.
10 years from now, make sure you can say that you chose your life, you didn't settle for it.
Never say that I have taken it, only that I have given it back.
Truth is that which makes a people certain, clear, and strong.
I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious.
Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat.
It is an acceptance of being uncomfortable that drives change.
Regret is mostly caused by not having done anything. Facing it, always facing it, that's the way to get through. Face it. Regrets are about decisions that you know you should have done different. You can live your whole life not realizing that what you're looking for is right in front of you.
I never trust frank and simple people whose stories hold together. I have given my word that only death will take me from you.
Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. The flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and most beautiful of all. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. If you possess enough courage to speak out what you are, you will find that you are not alone. Every strike brings me closer to the next home run.
If you listen to critics for too long, you will become deaf to success.
I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think.
Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life.
You don't have to eat less. You just have to eat right. Nothing important is learned. It is simply remembered.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding.
To know the history of science is to recognize the mortality of any claim to universal truth.
Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose.
You look ridiculous if you dance. You look ridiculous if you don't dance, so you might as well dance. Yea, all things live forever, though at times they sleep and are forgotten. It is better to be respected than it is to be popular. Popularity ends on yearbook day. Respect lasts forever.
If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
I do not know what the heart of a rascal may be, but I know what is in the heart of an honest man. It is horrible. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. We follow the codes not because they bring gain, but because we loathe the people we would otherwise become. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Have faith in your ability. You will do just fine. Perhaps the logical conclusion of everyone looking the same is everyone thinking the same.
In making tactical dispositions, the highest pitch you can attain is to conceal them.
Believe in your greatness, because what you believe is what you become. Never do anything that you can't admit doing, because if you are that ashamed of whatever it is, it's probably wrong. Stop telling people everything.
To bear and not to own, to act and not lay claim, to do the work and let it go, for just letting it go is what makes it stay. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together.
I don't know who I am right now, but I know who I'm not, and I like that.
But if a villain can be made, then they can be unmade. A man who knows he is a fool is not a great fool.
H is for habit. Winners make a habit of doing the things losers don't want to do. Time heals almost everything. Give it time.
A wise general makes a point of foraging of the enemy. The better organized the state, the duller its humanity.
You have to lift a person up before you can really put them in their place.
The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master.
There is no standard normal. Normal is subjective. There are 7 billion versions of normal on this planet. When the road ahead seems impossible, start the engine. Everything looks impossible initially, and then everything eases out gradually. Beginning is the key.
We have 4 problems: overthinking, trust, share, love.
If I didn't try to assume responsibility for my own existence, it would seem utterly absurd to go on existing. Because even if the lie is beautiful, the truth is what you face in the end.
A whetstone, though it cannot cut, may sharpen a knife that will.
One day, all those late nights and early mornings will pay off.
Great men are like eagles and build their nest on some lofty solitude.
Life is like an elevator. On your way up, sometimes you have to stop and let some people off. As if you could kill time without injuring eternity.
Face your life, its pain, its pleasure. Leave no path untaken. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. During a conversation, listening is as powerful as loving. Respect yourself, and others will respect you.
It takes sunshine and rain to make a rainbow. There would be no rainbows without sunshine and rain. Arrival in the world is really a departure, and that which we call departure is only a return.
All wars are won or lost before they are ever fought.
It is a very funny thing that the sleepier you are, the longer you take about getting to bed.
Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great.
Sharing your accomplishments is essential, but avoid the pitfall of oversharing every minor success. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. You don't, you'll find an excuse. Great goals make great people. People cannot hit what they do not aim for.
Verily, God does not reward man for what he does, but for what he is.
A creative life cannot be sustained by approval any more than it can be destroyed by criticism. Brilliance is impossible without a touch of insanity.
A person's limitations are only measured by their drive to succeed.
There is a time to live and a time to die, but never to reject the moment. Life's under no obligation to give us what we expect.
Those who realize their folly are not true fools.
Atticus, he was real nice. Most people are, Scout, when you finally see them. Sometimes you get pushed out, not because you're not worth it, you are worth more.